determination, laser focus. Banging on they though they taking notice.
Yeah. One up and up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Vikings.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected. And actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's able to find Diggs. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. On 2nd down, Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught. Smith. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now it's Jackson, and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Adam Thielen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
The previous play is under review.
I'll let you do the analysis part of it. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now a play fake. Wentz. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Sometimes it's a quarterback making a great throw, and sometimes it's a receiver just making an incredible catch, and there it was really the latter.
And the quarterback is so happy because the receiver, in a sense, bailed him out. Great job going and getting the football and creating 6 points for his team.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action. Now Jackson. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. But it's going to be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 30, 10, and the Vikings are in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Vikings 17. Eagles.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 33 and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Barrett. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Jackson. And an alley to run. Rolling to his left. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down. They go play action with Jackson. That's complete to Butler. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Operating from the gun, Jackson steps away. Touchdown, Eagles! They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on third down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 11. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Holding up. The football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Watch tight. Tight is right.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he knew he was going to take a shot in the pocket. He did, but he also found a way to get it into the end zone.
And that has to ease the pain a little bit of the... shot he took, didn't it? Being able to throw it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Going up top. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Got a man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you.
Here's Jackson. Gonna throw again. This is Butler making the catch. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Von Bell up to make the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson now From the gun, he'll throw. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, but I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing now is Wentz. And this is Cook with the grab. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
From the 31, Jackson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd and 1, Jackson got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. This is McCaffrey. They find some open field here. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
We'll definitely see some running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They try to run on first down, but this defense There's no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now Jackson. And Ingram holds it in. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slam.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside, so you guard that. A little bit more, so that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Come on, fellas.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. It appears they'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down, they hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback, and oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Wentz setting up the screen for Cook. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. And to give this time to the tailback. A solid stiff arm. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Jackson. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So they were in field goal range, a chance to get this one to OT. Got a little greedy going for the win, cost him the game.
Not just a little greedy, now a little lost because of what ended up happening. Just what you stated there, they're in field goal range. Instead of getting conservative, they decided to press it, maybe try and win it right now. Instead, the whole thing backfired.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Cook following the penalty. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.